To the raffish sailors of the Pacific whaling fleet who favored it for its superb anchorage, pubs, and uninhibited women, the little town of Lahaina back in 1819 was heaven. But to the stiff-collared missionaries who arrived in 1823, the town was a hellhole, a place of sin and degradation. The old and the new come together most gracefully on Maui's western end at Lahaina, once the royal capital of the Hawaiian Islands, and a busy port, now a charming but sleepy town that lives by sugar, pineapples, and tourists. Today, Lahaina is a national historic landmark filled with reminders of its rowdy seafaring past, which began about 1819 when whaling ships first appeared in what is called Lahaina's open roadstead, the passage of water shielded by Maui, Lanai, Molokai, and Kahulawe. Arriving on square-rigged sailing ships like the Carthaginian, pleasure-starved seamen swarmed over Lahaina streets. The Carthaginian, which is berthed in Lahaina's Harbor and was used in the movie Hawaii, is a floating museum of the whaling era. The historic Baldwin House is the most visible remnant of the Protestant missionaries who settled quickly in Lahaina following the arrival of the whalers. Built in 1834 and made of thick coral blocks, the Baldwin House is the oldest building still standing on Maui. Another coral block building rich with whaling history is the Seamen's Hospital. Today, it houses many artifacts dating back to 1778, the year the legendary South Pacific explorer Captain Cook arrived in the Hawaiian Islands.
The building itself was built in 1832 by King Kamehameha III. He was the third crown head of the Kingdom of Hawaii. He was a young man at the time, 18 years old, and he built the building out of coral and lava rock, which is found here locally on the island. He built it initially as a gentleman's club where he could entertain visiting sea captains from the whale ships, which of course were anchored off Lahaina Roadstead here in Lahaina.
It was the gentlemen's clubs and pubs which greatly disturbed the men and women of the cloth. But what concerned the missionaries most was that the behavior of the sailors corrupted the natives. To this end, churches were built and worship was strictly encouraged. And from the old courthouse, laws were made prohibiting drunkenness and prostitution. Yet the missionaries had less to do with moral reform on Maui than did the discovery of oil in Pennsylvania in 1859. By 1870, the whaling era was over. In 1873, the missionaries planted a banyan tree to commemorate the 50th anniversary of their arrival, and probably to celebrate the disappearance of the bawdy sailors. The tree still remains. Today, Lahaina is a rest stop for ocean-weary sailors of a different stripe, and it is also one of the best places in the world to catch some wind in your sails and watch the last living remnants of Lahaina's turbulent past, the whales. Maui's coastal waters are the winter breeding ground for the humpback whale, and between December and April each year, their spouts and tails can be seen while the great ocean mammals play in paradise.